So crypto looks like it's about to get onto the move once again, and in today's show we're going to have a look at a couple of trade opportunities. I've been spending all morning looking for the perfect trade, and I think I've just found it. So smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And let's get straight into the show content. We do have a lot to cover. I want to keep it pretty concise and to the point for you guys so that you can be well on your way for the weekend. So again, smash the like button because it helps to get the show content out. And yeah, banter bubbles over here. Most of the coins starting to bounce on the hourly, daily. Yesterday, remember, we had a little bit of a scare, a little bit of a red day for the 𝗲𝗏𝗪�embers. You'll remember in the live Zoom session that we had yesterday, I pretty much told you, not really too worried about this, looking for bullish absorption and for prices to move higher. So this morning, I dropped a whole bunch of trades in the 𝗲𝗏𝗪𝒻 group. We're in one now. I'm going to go over that trade. If you want the rest of them, please go into the Discord for the 𝗲𝗏𝗪𝒻 members. It is there, right? All in all, it's looking good. Weekly still holding up over there. Monthly also still holding up. You can see MOG, right? 120% up on the month, looking really, really juicy. That's one of the top picks, at least for me, for the cycle, right? And we also identified yesterday the BTC futures open interest, which was starting to move towards the upside. We also saw, if we have a look at Ethereum and we look at the overall open interest over here, let's just reset the zoom. You could see this was also slowly starting to tick towards the upside. Before we move on, I also want to double check on Solana, and then I'll show you the trade that I was looking at. So BTC seems to be the leader, right? Because if you look at Solana over here, it looks similar to Ethereum. You haven't had a marked uptick yet because usually the risk moves to Bitcoin first, and then there's a spillover effect. If Bitcoin breaks out, you're going to see the shift into Ethereum as well as the other altcoins, right? So I was having a look at this over here. You have a little bit more of a healthy reset over here in the open interest when comparing Bitcoin on the low time frames. You can see the more recent attempts, right, at that local range high over here. And then if you look at the open interest on the bottom, this is kind of where it fizzled out. Now we had the open interest all the way hanging around this low region, starting to climb back up, pushing towards those levels. But the difference is that price is already coming back into those range highs, which now increases the probability that you should see the open interest rise and push up into these range highs, which is going to most likely lead to an overall breakout. And that's one of the reasons why I actually just took a long trade on Bitcoin just before the show. So that's the trade. This is for the World Series of Trading competition. If you want to learn more, by the way, if you want to learn more about this whole thing with open interest and how to analyze it, how to read the markets, how I've actually used it to time a lot of the cycle highs and lows. You can see over here how I've used funding rates to time almost every market cycle, bottom and top, locking in outrageous gains. That's the title for the 𝗲𝗏 Crypto Trades newsletter. You can access this, right? It's entirely free. It's a full write-up over here to explain, everything for how I actually look for these trades. Please go into the link in the description below over here, scroll through to the bottom. You'll get to this section where it says sign up for the crypto newsletter. It's the top one over there, 𝗲𝗏 Crypto Trades. Click on that. It will take you through to Substack, and then you'll be able to access all of these. I really recommend reading through the funding rates, contango, backwardation, all of that. Everything is covered over here with very, very good and at least analogies which you can utilize to try and understand, the way that these markets work in real world fashion, right? So all of that is listed below over there. And this is the trade that I took. So I'm looking at Bitcoin over here, not only the open interest, but just lining it up with the previous month's high, right? A pretty clear invalidation. If we start to gain acceptance below the previous month's high, well, that's where we'll start to look for the price to come back down again. But right now, it's looking like it's flipping that important area of prior resistance now into support. And based on the profile of what we're seeing with that open interest, there's a high likeliness that we're going to see follow through over here and continuation with the price action. So that is a trade taken for the World Series of Trading, currently on the new trade up 2.46% because I've just taken it. If I get stopped out on this, I'll probably go back to flat on the overall World Series of Trading competition portfolio because I think I was up like 12-13%. So that's kind of risk on the table for me. That will take me back to break even, but I'm betting on a breakout over here based on the various factors that I've just showcased to you, right? So if you do want to join as well into that World Series of Trading, it's listed over here. Right at the top of the description is the World Series of Trading. You can sign up to ByBit and then join in. It's not too late. There's actually $10 million up for grabs over there in that. So it was dropped over here. There's the trade in the Whale Room Discord, as well as a couple of other trades if you want to go through to see that. And let's continue, right? More on the aggregate funding, the open interest, things like that. But on a high time frame perspective, you can still see relatively low, right? Relatively low in relation to what we saw back here. This is now looking at it on a weekly scale. This was the prior times that we attempted at those highs. Where was the funding rate? Very, very high up. Now, where's the funding rate? Well, very, very low, while prices narrowly just a little smidge below the prior all-time high. So this shows you that there may be enough momentum to actually get price action to move through these levels, right? Also, what we're seeing, if we look on the one-day period on the funding rate heat map, this is looking at Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, Doge, XRP, SUI, all the various different coins on the list over here. And most of them are still flat to negative, right? Very, 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 modest funding rates. We don't have anything overheated over here. People are paying 10%, 7%, 8%. In this case over here on TIA, Celestia, it's if you're long over here, you're actually getting paid, right? It's a negative 123%. This one over here as well, ENA, a heavily shorted coin for some reason, negative 72% over there on the 24-hour funding. So again, if you want more information on how all this funding works, it is in this article. You need to sign up to the newsletter. I'll remind you, it's entirely free. The other thing that I'm having a look at over here is the total cryptocurrency market cap, right? I believe this is an order block that's currently forming over here following the breach of this downsloping trend line. And I believe this is a real breakout that we're about to see. Whether it happens today, tomorrow, or next week remains unclear. The point is that an order block is forming. It could be like that. It could be a little bit further extended into next week sometime. But at the end of the day, I believe this is an order block. Order blocks tend to lead into the next major move. And I think that next major move is either going to lead you directly into this $2.5 trillion overhead resistance for the total cryptocurrency market cap, or it may even lead you straight through that level where you're going to hold above 2.6 trillion. And then you're talking about a massive breakout, right? The expectation would be following that big move into that region, you're going to form another order block, also known as a bull flag. And then that will eventually lead us into the next breakout, right? So all in all, everything is still looking pretty bullish despite the short-term pullbacks that we see in the market. As long as you're positioned in the right altcoin, right? That's the thing, right? As long as you're in the right altcoin, because many of the altcoins are getting smashed. We have to call a spade a spade. There's a lot of them that are getting absolutely annihilated. And therefore, that is something to be careful of, something to be wary of. So let's continue on over here. If we look at the Bitcoin with its fair value logarithmic regression curve, what you can see over here is, well, there's still a lot of juice left in the tank, right? Every single bull cycle, we've extended above the upper logarithmic band over there. And not only a little bit, right? You've extended pretty significantly over that level. Now, of course, as the cycle progresses, we do get diminishing returns, right? So that's something that you do want to be cognizant of. So let's say a more base case scenario would be that we reach at least the top of that line. Now, it depends on when it happens. Let's extend this out to, I'm going to go to October 2025. And the reason I'm choosing that date is because that's kind of my further out prediction for how far price may go. If we were to hit that upper band over there, previous cycles, I'll remind you, we've extended way beyond that. If it were to be sometime around October, you're looking at a Bitcoin price of $180,000, right? The fair value level is going to be coming in over here at $147,000, and your lower chance scenario, which we've never seen before, where it rejects from the low band, we always, I'll remind you, go way above. The low band is coming in at 120,000. Now, it depends on timing as well. Let's go with another scenario and suggest that, well, maybe this is a left translated cycle and we run out of steam this already, December, January. Well, then you're going to be looking at a base case on the upper side, because we've crossed that upper band every single time, at $133,000. So point being, over here, there's a lot of opportunity, and it's all lining up when you can see this as well. You can see that we're nowhere near the funding rates that we previously saw when attempting at those highs. Plus, we have the order block, which is busy coiling up for the next move, right? You have the SR flip, which is looking increasingly more probabilistic to occur over here, and the breach above the 71,500 should confirm that next move up, right? We're also having a look at the transfer flows to exchanges. This is when the most amount of money comes onto an exchange, is usually where your cycle top occurs. As you can see, the histogram has not even nearly crossed up, right? It's only just hovering around actually below the zero line, but we're seeing signs of strength in the sense that it is slowly rising. And again, just showcasing, right, in alignment with this, there's still a lot of opportunity left within the cycle. And although you might feel like you're too late, you're not necessarily too late, right? If we look over here at the exchange volume, this is also moving towards the upside, slowly ticking up. If we look at it year to date, that's what it's looked like. The biggest move that we had occurred over February into March, and that's where we saw the most gains. And when we go through, of course, to the funding, this is that time period on the look back period of 1 year where we saw the orange and reds, right? So we've had a very healthy reset. We've had a very healthy reset within the market, and a lot of people are super doubtful as to what comes next. Everything is indicating that there's plenty potential for higher prices. The only thing that's high up is the fear and greed at 73, but we've showcased how, if you look at the blue areas over here, you can stay within those time periods for a very long period of time, right? If you look at this, this whole period where Bitcoin was sitting at $11,000 in the last bull run, the previous bull run from 2020 into 2021, you pretty much had a fear and greed above 80, between that 70 and even up to as high up, let's see how high this went up to 95, right? From the yellow line over here, it remained in that extreme greed all the way up. So understand that, at certain times, you don't want to counter trade this, but instead you want to use this as a trending tool. The fear and greed as a trending tool, right? And the momentum is still pretty low, looking for big move, right? And follow through over here. We can see on the 5-day, that's the case. You have the BBWP expanding. This means your Bollinger Bands are starting to open up, right? If we throw the Bollinger Bands on, the Bollinger Bands are starting to expand and open up wider and wider, and that means there's a move that's taking place, right? Middle Bollinger Band currently coming in at 61,500. So on a weekly scale, that's an important level. The other thing that I noted yesterday was that we have broken the stop and reversal indicator, right? What was previously governing price down as resistance. We've breached through that level. That's now popped to the bottom, and that really sets the stage to get prices moving higher over time. Not only that, but also when we use our moving averages, we came perfectly into the support level over here where we said that was a major buying opportunity, and we've had strong candle closes above, now posturing a 100% long signal. This is a full-on 100% long signal if you are a trend trader, because you have price above the short, above the medium, and above the long-term moving average. And all of those are, well, the 30 still needs to slightly angle up. They're not all angled upwards, but very soon on the next candle close, you're going to start to see the purple turn towards the upside. And if you breach this resistance level over here, which we of course lining up with what's occurring with this open interest, if you can also breach this, you may be able to breach the overhead resistance at 69K, and that's where you have a real breakout in play, right? So all in all, it's all following to perfection. Plus, we have the super bull moon, right? I don't know if any of you looked outside recently, but the moon is absolutely massive, right? This affects your emotions because you're mostly made up of water, and that's why you see the effectiveness of these moon cycles, right? I'm not someone that's into star signs. I actually think that it's absolute hogwash, but this is something that I have found works out, right? Is the moon cycles do have an effectiveness, and we've broken back above the 200 MA and 200 EMA. So all in all, very healthy signs for continuation in the market, and we're looking for this long-term consolidation to end. Currently 218 days in, we consider this the end of the consolidation when we can actually break above those previous highs that occurred at the 70, just below $74,000 level, right? And I expect that to occur within this 2-week period, right? Within this bull moon period over here, which we've just had. I think that's where we're going to start to breach out of that level. And I've been explicit about that, right? I've said it extensively. We're also 14 days in on the rise of the DXY rip towards the upside over here. And we said we're looking for some sort of a rejection around day 14 because it's that magic number 7. And we are starting to see the rejection occur at the 200-day moving average. It's not enough to call for the breakdown, right? Understand, though, this is a lot of pent-up liquidity over here. And if you can start to break this, it's going to bring a huge inflow of money back into the crypto markets. Stock markets are still looking good. I said, there is a possibility that you get a pullback into 58 or 5,827. So 58.27 is your support. We are now 18 days out from the election phase. NASDAQ is starting to slowly catch up. It's been one of the laggards in the stock market because Dow Jones and S&P 500 have already created all-time highs. And then you have the Coinbase chart over here trading similar to the NASDAQ, slightly lagging, right? And this is now eventually playing catch up, looking for a move towards the upside. Bitcoin dominance continues to soar, and I think we're weeks away from meeting its end, right? Bitcoin dominance should top anywhere between here and, at a maximum, I would say about 61%. And then I'll be looking for this to start to find weakness, turnover, and the altcoin sector is going to run, right? Bitcoin or ETH BTC still getting hammered. Let's quickly zoom in actually to see what this looks like. Absolutely smashed. Really, really bad. This type of call it consolidation at the lows can oftentimes lead to a further capitulation. So please do be aware of that, right? And what that means is, it could take a while longer before ETH BTC actually comes out of this. When I say a while longer, you may be looking at around 90 days. So 3 months, give or take. Sometime by next year, I think, is where ETH BTC is probably going to find a little bit of a bid and then start to reclaim some of those key levels. Here's your ETH USD chart. ETH USD also attempting to breach the downsloping channel over here. You do have high lows in the making. We're still waiting to create those high highs. So watch for something like this as price unfolds over here. You're looking for the breakout alongside the rest of the total cryptocurrency market cap. Okay, I see Vitalik is typing. Vitalik Buterin, please tell me, sir, what do we do? What do we do with this coin? Please call the devs. Please call the devs over there. All right, continuing on over there. Let's go into some of the altcoin requests, if there is anything that you want to have a look at. I did go extensively through the entire list of coins looking for opportunities within this market to see, is there anything else I want to run? And I really found that Bitcoin was at least the lowest risk bet with this play over here with the stop loss down at $65,833. It's obviously got the highest liquidity as well. There's a lot of volatility and choppiness within these coins, right? Let's have a look at Casper because there's been a lot of fear around Casper and it's warranted fear, right? Because you started to gain acceptance below the 14-cent region, which is pretty significant, right? This has been an important area of at least psychological level because you had resistance, little order block support leads into the big move up. You came back, lost this level, resistance again, finds it as support, holds it, and then bounces one more time and then it loses it, right? Now you're gaining acceptance below that level, which means that you have to look to the lower targets. Now it found interim support over there. What you'd want to see for the bullish case, if you're bullish on Casper, you need to see this snap back very, very quickly and reclaim. You need to see this, right? Acceptance back inside the 14-cent region, and then you consider that a scary deviation. Why is it a scary deviation, right? Well, if you look at Bitcoin, this was the wick that occurred at Bitcoin down to $48,000. What did Bitcoin do, right? Bitcoin spiked up and hasn't really come back to those levels. Whereas Casper, now you have multiple closing candles. That's a little bit of a warning sign, right? You have to take it at face value. That's the truth. So please do be careful over there. All right, what other ones do we have? Let me know. Drop it in the comment section. I'll make sure to bring it up if I can. Okay, Arbitrum, Pepe, that's a lot of coins. Aave, Near, Ton, Sui. Let's have a look at some of those. Let's look at Ton since we're on the same page over here. Same old, still waiting for a sweep into 460. Solana over here. This is, for a lot of the coins yesterday, we said is kind of an important zone where you want to see a bit of demand come in, right? You need to continue to maintain these high lows. You came into the little bull zone that we had over here, identified around this, what was the level? $148. Now you're looking for the move up. You immediately need to get back above this, right? In order to show true signs of strength, Solana must get back above $165 ASAP, right? Okay, we were in a long trade on this. Stops have been raised into break even or slight profit. And I said there's a possibility you come back to the zone over here. Keep an eye out on that. That's for say. AVAX, yeah, not much to comment. We went through that one yesterday. Let's see TRX. Okay, same old on TRX. Mantra is holding up over here. The candle definitely from yesterday looks like a bit of a reversal candle, or not a reversal to the downside, but a support candle that should hold up. So I was trying to monitor this on the 4-hour time frame. If I were to be taking a long trade over here, I'd wait for another sweep if you're lucky enough to get it, right? Something like that. That's where you want to be building your longs at the bottom over here. And then ultimately, this is probably just a bullish consolidation, preparing for new all-time highs once again on Mantra. That is the real-world asset token. Okay, Ondo, I know you guys are wanting Ondo as well. Ondo is still, it's digesting what's occurred with this downside move over here. It's possible that there's a change of character that's occurring following the downside move. You've broken that structure. You put in a high. You're putting in a high low right over here. But it's not a leverage trade that you can take, right? These are more spot positions that you would be looking to slowly reaccumulate into. Okay, what other ones? Let's quickly have a look over here. Just scan through if there's anything major that's sticking out. Remember, in Whale Room, I did drop a bunch of these coins, right? I dropped a couple of them over here. So if you are looking for other trade opportunities, it has been dropped in the Whale Room Discord over there for any of you that are in Whale Room. For those of you that are not, I do want to remind you the pricing will go up. On the 1st of November. So the 31st of October is the last day to get in at this price. It will never, ever, ever be cheaper again. So take advantage while you can, because if you're in it now and you remain in the Discord, you'll be locked in at that price, right? If you leave, of course, and you come back, well, it's going to go up again. Okay, I wanted to have a look at where were we at MOG, right? Because MOG is starting to move over here. So MOG looking strong, right? Looking really, really strong. I spoke about this, about being lucky if you can get it down. You would have got 1 or 2 wicks that just came into this low region over here, and it's starting to consolidate at this level, which means, again, probably this is going to be one of the top performers. You have to ask yourself, given the condition of many of the other altcoins that are out there, when you see something that's doing this, consolidating, following high highs and high lows, it probably leads to continuation and higher prices, right? Let's go to some of the more degen stuff like Mini. I see you guys are asking for Mini. Let's double check. Okay, up 44.6%. How's this looking? I know it had a bit of a pullback. It did. It had a bit of a pullback over here. Look, you want to see this as a major high low. The only way you'll know is when you start to push up and take out these highs at 0.09669. We got our entries way back. For those of you who have been following for a long time, we got our entries ages ago near the lows. We, again, added a little bit more at the mid-range over here at 0.016. So these become positions that we can hold for the long term for the rest of the crypto cycle. So I'm not really going to meddle much with those positions. For those of you out there, if you do want to take these trades, right, there is an exchange over here partnered with us that's giving you a big sign-up bonus. So if you register and deposit to trade, you can win $30,500 plus your normal exclusive reward that you get for depositing. That is on CoinW, right? Use the link below if you want a place to trade crypto and you don't have an exchange. Okay, Zeus. Yeah, let's go to Zeus. Zeus hasn't, the market hasn't caught on to what Zeus is. It's a cross-chain protocol for those of you who don't know. But let's have a look at Zeus. Now I've lost the chart. Where is it? It's probably going to be this one. Let's quickly add it again. Okay, so here is Zeus. Ultimately, you've started to form a bit of a range low bottom over here. So price moving up. I don't know if you're going to come back into that zone over there. Strong horizontal that lines up is going to be this one. Let's just change that onto a line chart. There we go. Let's also change this onto a normal line. There we have it. So area of interest, if price comes down anywhere into, 19 cents to about 22 cents, that is the level. That is the area of interest personally for Zeus. I'd be looking for reaccumulation into this zone. And then eventually the market should catch on to what Zeus is, and we might see high prices. Okay, Sui. Let's have a look at Sui. There is a question around Sui. Okay, Sui. So, of course, this has been a huge move. Eventually, this is going to come down, guys. And when it does, it's going to come down hard. I have to be clear about that. SR flip level, areas that I'd be watching, I'm going to just mark them out. That's one area of interest. And I'm going to mark out this zone over here. So pretty much exactly where price is caught. So strong invalidation on longs, I guess, would come, below this level over here, which is $1 80 cents. If you start to take out that level, you've broken that high, low structure. You've taken out the last high, low, which is over there. And you would also be deviating or losing that range high. And then the next level of interest becomes $1.40. But the alternative is, if you continue to find support over here, this can become a springboard looking for a massive move towards the upside on Subi. Okay, let's go to Brett. There is a question around Brett as well. Brett hasn't been looking too bad. It looks like it's prepping for the next move. So there it is. We covered this yesterday. I'll go into the 4-hour time frame. And I said that probability-wise, you're going to see the area between the 0.382 and the 0.5 hold as support. And we're seeing that, right? And now you're starting to get a bit of a move. So invalidation would be at 0.095. That's the level to watch. And then you're looking for price to mark up higher at a later stage, right? So if you can take out these highs over here, you might have a bigger trade in play because high highs, high lows following the break of the downsloping trend line. Mid-range is coming in over here at just under 13 cents. And then your range high is at 18.2. All right. We've done say for the question over there. We have done say. Mu, yeah, let's have a look at Mu. Mu is one of the cats. I believe it's on Solana, right? And Mu has absolutely flown. This one has, I definitely think, caught a lot of people by surprise because look at that, 8% up today, trading at all-time highs. You hit your 1.618 fib extension target. And this is one that I missed. I must be honest with you guys. I missed this one. I was waiting, hoping that, maybe you're going to sweep this level. But as I said at the time, we had a lot of different meme coins already in the zone, which we got into and have outperformed as well. So you can't catch them all, right? But in terms of liquidity, I was waiting for something into the range low over there. Missed it, but if you got it, congratulations. You're at the 1.618 and it is looking strong for continuation. Next target, 2.618 fib extension. That's coming in at 0.011. So from current price to there, that could be another 23, 24% that you're looking at. Okay. Redo, yeah, we can have a look at Redo, resistance dog, resistance cat. These are positions that we're holding. Remember, this is also totally going to depend on what Toncoin does, right? So once Ton finds a major bottom and it's being stubborn right now, right? This is why, one has to capitulate, either the bulls or the bears. The option is over here. You either form a high low, continue, take out this high and show a reversal, or the bulls must capitulate, price must come down into 460. If you see that, then simultaneously you'll probably see something like Redo, which do we have on this chart over here, resistance dog, should then only catch a bit, right? So right now, all the way back down to range lows. If you're looking for exposure, probably not a bad spot. But again, don't go all in just because it's range lows. Doesn't mean by any means that it would hold, right? Typically, the way that you trade these rectangles, if price was consolidating towards the highs and you'll be looking for a breakout, that becomes the measured move. It works the same way towards the downside. That's the realistic approach, right? The realistic approach is that if this horizontal breaks it down and meets its measured move target, then resistance dog could theoretically come to 0.047. Currently, this is a super small position within my overall crypto portfolio. If it did do that, and simultaneously Ton came down to the intended levels of support that we've given, then I may be willing to, buy a little bit more at those zones. Pepe, let's have a look at Pepe. Okay, the Pepe USD chart. Okay, trying to break above that previous resistance level, flipping it into support. A little bit of a challenging one to chart because it's been super choppy and all over the place. Let's just quickly have a look at this over here. But a lot of them, you had this falling wedge, right? A lot of the coins, you had this picture perfect falling wedge over here. Pivot level, pivot level, pivot level, pivot level, pivot level. Price breaks out, comes back test, consolidating around this region. We're seeing this within a lot of the coins, right? There's Brett. Similar, very, very similar, right? You broke that level, consolidating around that zone, just waiting for the next move, right? Ponky, also consolidating after a big move up. If we can keep holding sideways over here, moving up to 54 cents is not out of the question. Okay, 𝗲𝗏, I'm going to give one away because I don't want to give all the whale room trades away for free. It's unfair to the people in there, but this is one of the ones I'm looking at as a potential for yesterday to be the low on 𝗲𝗏. This is also following a massive break of this falling wedge. At the end of the day, this is just for late comers because we already built our position down here, right? We already built the position preemptively looking for this breakout. So if that is going to be the high low, I'd be looking for rapid accumulation, and that's totally dependent on Bitcoin, right? How's our trade doing? So we're still up 2.5%. Let's see. Okay, still taking a relatively low leverage on the competition, just trying to build up enough profits to then move into high risk. I am on a, what did they call this? A heavy lifter, heavy hitter account, whatever that means, over $10,000. So I'm trading it a little bit more carefully personally. All right, guys, smash the like button. Smash the like button. It helps to get show content out there. I do want to let you know as well, for tomorrow, I will be doing another show. I'll take a lot of altcoin requests on tomorrow's show. So if you do want to get more altcoin requests in, we can do banana gun. Yes, we can do that now. That's one to look at. I'll take the other requests as well tomorrow. Let's quickly have a look at banana gun. Before we do that, I do want to remind you as well, please sign up to the newsletter. It's entirely for free, right? Entirely for free. You don't have to pay 1 cent. Today's deep dive was, of course, on using funding rates, looking at funding rates, how it works, open interest, looking at backwardation, looking at contango. And then also, if you want all the other trades, jump into whale room. They have already been dropped there, and the pricing is going to go up soon. So let's go. Banana gun. Where is banana gun? Let's check it out. Banana USDT. Okay, this is one of the portfolio picks, and it's looking good, right? To me, it's looking good. Pushed up towards the range highs over here. I think we allocated near the range lows. We re-added again at the mid-range over here. So for most of you, if you were in whale room and you took the latest trade, you would be up. How far would you be up over here? Let's just see. You would be up 36%, right? Remember what I just spoke about, using the rectangles for measured moves? There it is. That's the rectangle. If you do hold above this, which the reclaim of this probably you can consider holding above, and then you're looking at the breakout, that's going to take you to $92.69 percentage gain. How much further are you looking at? You'd be looking at another 58%, right? So original entry for the latecomers who joined into whale room, they would be getting about 113%. This is early alt season gains, right? This is nothing. This is nothing yet. Wait until you see the real alt season. So a lot of opportunity there, but that's it from me, folks. I'll catch all of you on the next one. I hope you have an absolutely stellar day, and cheers.